How you doing, everyone? This is Reverend Jess Foglesong from touchedbygodchurch.com. We are online. And today's message is simply called God's Plan Shaping Up Exponentially. Alright, let's get right into it, alright? Genesis describes that the universe was created in 6 days, and on the seventh day he rested. And how did this happen? I suggest to you that from God's point of view, it is 6 days. And he is not limited by time, but we mortals are. And so we look at 6 days and would say, well, that's impossible. But actually, I think most of you know, remembering from high school science classes, the postulation that the further you are from the earth, the slower time travels. And that is the key. From God's point of view, or from the point of view of the initial bang, 14 billion years is 6 days. Stop looking at everything from your own perspective. Pretend you are the maker, looking in or down at us. Yes, to our mortal perspective, the development of the entire universe is unimaginable. To God, it is instant, a blink of an eye. Life itself here on earth began nearly 4 billion years ago with the onset of water. Now, how did water appear? The earth was bombarded with ice-filled comets, entering the solar system with great distances, eventually permeating the earth's crust with pockets of water, then slowly emerging to the surface, instantly triggering information placed there by God's wisdom. And within molecules to initialize cellular life. First, cells without a nucleus, and later cells with a central nucleus. Life flourished freely for millions of years. The earth was on its way toward intelligent forms of life. God's plan was in full force, although he sees it instantly as one sequential action, all happening at once. God is ubiquitous. He is everywhere at the same time. He is a spirit. He is divine. He is energy. He is light. His presence fills the universe, every object, every animal, plant, every being. His information is embedded within every molecule, within every atom in the universe. He is the ultimate common denominator. He is the light that beams from within all matter and non-matter. We cannot get away from his illumination, his presence. We are here because he is here. If he leaves, we cease to exist. He is the divine, the ultimate superbeing. So if God dwells within all of us, what and where is heaven? Most of us think that heaven is up there, somewhere over the clouds, somewhere beyond or over the rainbow. Well, yes, heaven is somewhere beyond the rainbow. It is beyond our comprehension. It is a place outside our realm in a higher plateau or sphere. And God does frequent this magical place inhabited by angels. It is a glorious realm, pure, majestic, righteous. It is a place reserved for the sinless and righteous. It is God's dwelling. And he operates his government with justice and love. Heaven is just on the other side of the unseen, invisible. And it has a one-way door. We tainted. The tainted are forbidden to enter this door due to the original spiritual sin. The sin committed by the one who wanted to be God, the spiritual entity, the usurper of God's will. His name, Lucifer. Lucifer was an archangel of the government of God. His duties included steward of planet Earth, including all life forms. He was in charge of all lower echelon angels in the care and support of Earth. But Lucifer decided that he wanted to take things in his own hands, to be like God. Because of his disobedience, sin entered, and God banished him, and 1/3 of his followers, fallen angels or demons, to earth, and at the same time condemning all forms on the earth, all life forms on the earth, as part of the same disobedience, the same sin. Therefore, due to Lucifer's disobedience, humans fell into sin as well. Lucifer was our heavenly representative. He reported to God and his governmental council of angels. Lucifer became known as the Red Dragon, and he became the devil, manipulating and influencing humankind throughout the ages. So even though God strives for perfection, he allows his creations to have the free will to choose. Free will is universal, given to all of his creations, including angels. And so, the reason why there is evil and strife in the world, evil was present at the Garden of Eden and influencing Adam and Eve. Adam, of course, the first Redeemer, failed. God then decided to experiment in redeeming mankind by creating a human being that was sinless, placing him in a special heavenly domain known as the Garden of Eden. He was named Adam and knew only good. He was sinless, and his purpose was to be the forebearer, the leader of a lost race. He was the Redeemer, the first Redeemer. God created a wife for Adam, and they both became the first family, sinless and righteous in God's eyes, because they dwelled within a sacred garden. But lurking in the darkness was Lucifer, evil. He knew that in order to redeem a lost race, there had to be perfection in the firstborn. So the devil, in the form of a serpent or snake, came into the presence of Eve, knowing that she had enormous influence on Adam, and tricked her into eating a fruit from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, and offering the same to Adam. And by disobeying God's instructions of not consuming the fruits instantly, the experiment fell. As Adam became just a man, he had disobeyed God's command, and at that moment the garden gates opened, exposing the chaotic realm of a sinful world. It would take many more generations before another Redeemer would be anointed. Lucifer, aka Satan, kept up the pressure through the ages in God's attempt in bringing forth a new Redeemer. God began his creation of humans by using a known method called adaptation, and in a sense, evolving. He knew that at the end product had to be unique and special. So, from the onset of animal and human life, he put forth a code system called DNA. It is an extremely intricate set of codes that determine who and what each species became. Every form of life was coded, from plant to animals, to human beings. These codes are very similar to many species, varying just a little. God experimented by creating tree animals such as lemurs monkeys, then apes, before moving on to pre-humans, called hominids. Ape-man-like creatures that through time adapted and evolved by coming out of the trees into walking upright. From this stage emerged the Neanderthal man, approximately 200,000 down to 30,000 years ago, that exclusively occupied the region of what is Europe today. They were short, tough, stocky, and strong pre-humans that were very adaptable to the extreme climate of the northern latitudes. Through time, another species emerged known as Homo sapiens, or Cro-Magnon man, 50,000 years ago. They were very similar to what we are today. Tall, slender, very agile, and standing very erect, as well as intelligent. They migrated out of Africa and settled in all parts of the earth. They actually came into contact with Neanderthals. So far, it is unknown whether the two species commingled. God's fine-tuning was in the process in finalizing an exquisite specimen for Homo sapiens. These prehistoric humans freely populated the earth from Africa to Europe, into Asia, Southeast Asia, south through Australia, and in many tropical islands of Polynesia. They eventually migrated north from China through southern Alaska down into the Americas and into Central and South America. The earth, the world, 10,000 years ago, was basically populated from end to end, top to bottom. Life flourished everywhere, in all continents and many of the islands. But most of the earth's inhabitants were not organized. It was survival of the fittest. Some groups made it, some did not. Gradually, groups became tribes, then into villages, then into a multitude of pagan societies. Their intelligence developed slowly, gradually learning techniques of survival. Well, we're going to stop right here and continue with our development of the beginnings of God's plan and of Earth, as a matter of fact. So we'll stop here. This is Reverend Jess Foglesong from Touched by God Church, and we'll meet again next time. God's blessing to you and for you today.